We are live. Hello, everybody.
Hey!
Hey, beautiful people.
What
Welcome.
up?
Flow with Lynn and Lo. Yes. Two real women, real talk, sharing real life experiences. So, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
There you go.
Hey!
Hey. Break it down. Break it down. Break it down. Okay. How y'all doing out there?
Yes.
Yay, it is an awesome, beautiful Sunday. How's it going, Lori?
What up?
What up?
Down in the house. We good on this side?
Yeah, you looking good.
Thanks, girl.
All right now. I'll
You
see.
too, girl. Liking them earrings.
Of course.
What you been up to?
I've been really, really relaxing. The weather, this is like the perfect weather. You know, it's 72 degrees and sunny. I love this fall season. I had an awesome time. I went to it was like a jazz in the park. This sister, she was like straight R&B. It was like Jill Scott meets Erykah Badu, and she was hyped. She was awesome. I was out there like, before I let go. You know, it's good. You know, had my blanket and my little chair, but it was a nice time outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that sounds relaxing.
It was like, you know, grown and, you know, the 40 and up crowd.
Chilling.
We were chilling. Exactly. We were chilling.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So how you been, honey bun?
Good. I'm good. Today I went to church. Church was really good. You know that one song, that one gospel song, Waymaker, Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper, Light in the darkness. Yeah, she was at our church today, girl.
For real?
Oh yeah,
nice.
She killed it. Honey, she just sings effortlessly. So it was awesome. You know, my pastor, of course, he preached as usual, but it's sunny today. So later, me and Mike, we're gonna go hang out and just kind of give me some vitamin D.
Right. We need that.
Gotta have it.
Yes.
So good day today.
Awesome. So again, people, we thank y'all for joining us on another podcast. For this podcast, we are going to be talking on the word commitment. And commitment is a very strong word. A lot of times when people hear that word commitment, they're quick to think about, okay, a marriage. But that word commitment can actually go and apply to other areas in our lives. So what I did, I looked up the Google definition, and that defines commitment as the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or an activity. And the Merriam-Webster definition said commitment is an agreement or a pledge to do something in the future. So when we think of commitment, you may think of faithfulness, dedication, devotion, allegiance, or even loyalty.
That's great. Wow. Yeah. So one of the things about commitment, and that is true, usually when you say that word commitment, people do think about marriage.
They do. I don't know why. Right? I know, right?
Yeah, it's just like all the time with marriage. But one thing about commitment that I've learned is that, you know, usually when people are committed to something or even committed to someone, they believe that it's important to them, right? It's important. So they either show up, they follow through, and they stick with it, right?
Right.
No, go ahead.
And I was going to just say, you know, even growing up, okay, we were all teenagers at one point. And for me, you know, I experienced commitment, didn't really know that I was in the process of committing. But I think back when I was a teenager, right? I ran track. You know, I'm like, I think I can run. And so what I did, middle school, 8th grade, you know, I started getting involved in track. And as I became running in track, I didn't even realize that it was more than just running a straight line and then, you know, you're good. Right. So by the time I got to high school, I was like, wait a minute, this is requiring some work. This is requiring some effort and training to be competitive. So I was actually walking in commitment, then realize it, you know, going to practice every day in the hot sun, as opposed to like, I don't feel like going to track practice, I'm going home. You know, being committed to eating the right foods. Because when you're an athlete, you can't just put everything in your body. Because there's many days I wanted to go get me some cheeseburger, French fries, you know what I'm saying? And I
Mhm.
can do that.
Mhm.
And then being in high school, there's a lot going on socially. And there's times where I couldn't go out to a party on a Friday night because I knew I had to compete Saturday morning.
Right.
So, about the time I got older, maybe junior, senior year, I realized that my commitment to being an athlete, actually, it paid off. That
Yeah.
I was making decisions, I was being committed to
Mhm.
being an athlete. And so a lot of times when you make that decision to commit, it will
Yeah.
reveal over time, It's not
Right.
just a wish, come on, but it's like it's an action.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and one thing about commitment, you may not feel like it some days, right?
Right. Right.
But you make a commitment to something or to someone, and
Yeah.
it will pay off.
Right. Yeah, I can remember when I was when I was at working for the police department,
Mhm.
and I was over our praise and worship services at my church, and I had worked midnight shift.
Oh, wow.
And
Come on.
I just love doing praise and worship. I
Yes.
love music. Music is
Come
like
on.
my second love. And so it's like I didn't want to give, even though I was working midnights, I didn't want to
Mm.
give that up. So what I would do was I would bring my church clothes with me to work, and I
Okay.
would have on my uniform, my
Wow.
police uniform. And
Uh-huh.
as soon as I got off work at my job, I
Yeah.
would go into the bathroom, take a shower because we had showers, separate showers for men and women. Take a
Mhm.
shower, put on my church clothes, and go right to church
Wow.
for services.
Wow.
And I did that for years.
Oh my
And
goodness.
people would be like, "What? Ain't you tired? Ain't you sleepy?" And
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be tired because
Mhm.
it was something that was important to me. It's
Right.
something that I was passionate about as
Right.
well, right? And
Yeah.
so I didn't look at it as, like it was a hard thing.
Mhm.
I was loyal, I was dedicated,
Yeah.
and I was faithful.
Yes.
And I did that for a long time because I was just committed to that ministry.
Right.
So there would be times where, I would get a little sleepy in church a little bit here or there, but
Mhm.
I
I
stuck
bet.
I stuck with it,
Yeah.
and I was blessed, I was blessed in doing so. But I think that what people need to understand is that um, when you commit and
Mhm.
you commit with your whole heart,
Mhm.
that with anything you put your mind to, then you're more likely to succeed because you
Yes.
refuse, you don't give up, you don't give in,
Mhm.
and it makes you more disciplined and
Yes.
productive in your decisions.
I agree. That's awesome. And I think when you commit to something, it's something that you value.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I value being a great athlete. And does
Mhm.
it pay off? Yes. I went to state every year, every freshman, junior. So that, your commitment was something that you valued and that
Mhm.
you said, you know what, I'm going to be committed to this. A lot of times you don't even have to make the statement, okay, I'm going to be committed to this. No, your actions let me know, okay, she's committed to that.
Right.
So you're
Right.
right. And
But that's key though, right there, what
yeah,
you said. Like
okay.
commitment is what it's not really what you say. Okay, so you can promise something.
Mhm.
Okay, I promise you I'm gonna be there every Saturday at 3 o'clock. Okay.
Okay.
But commitment is not just what you say. Commitment
Mhm.
is actually turning that promise into a reality, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
it is the words that you speak, that
yes.
you boldly say, I intend to do this, but
Okay.
then your actions are speaking louder than words when you
Well,
actually do it.
right, because it's gonna reveal itself over
Yes.
time. It's gonna
Yes.
let me know you committed or not, right? Your
Right.
actions.
Right.
And again, it ain't just marriage. We got employment. We could be committed to employers. We could
Yep.
be committed to a healthy relationship or a
Yep.
friendship.
Mm-hmm.
We could be committed to something personal like health and wellness, eating right, losing weight, exercising, even being committed to being a better parent, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
definitely, it's something that you value, that's important to you, and
Right.
you make a commitment, like Lori, in your heart. Like she
Yeah.
said, it's in your heart.
Yeah. And the thing too about commitment is so like we were saying, it's not enough to say you're going to do something, but you have
Mm-hmm.
to actually do it. So when I used to teach marriage classes at my church years ago, we
Uh-huh.
used to always use this word called actionize.
Actionize. Okay. I like
So you
the
can talk
teacher.
a good game. Like they say, talk is cheap,
Yeah.
right? And
Come
then
on.
they be like, walk the talk. Don't talk the talk. Just walk the talk then, right? So
Mm-hmm.
actionize what you are saying you're going to commit to.
Right.
So and that calls for making the time when there is
Mm-hmm.
none, maybe,
Come
right?
on.
So even
Right.
with exercising, like my job, I work like sometimes 10 or 12 hours a day. But let me tell
Wow.
you, I
Hmm.
take time out. I
Yes.
take time out of my day. I make sure that 1 hour out of my day is committed to exercise,
Right.
right? Commitment through time after time. So after you make time, then you just continue to elevate that, right?
Yes. Right.
And then watch yourself improve in that area. Watch yourself, set doors open for you, on
Mm.
your job. Make up in your mind that you're not just going to think it, you're not just
Mm-hmm.
going to say it, but you're actually going to do it. Because
Right.
technically it shows what really commitment really shows really what your character is made of, right?
Mm. Well,
Now, if I
well.
have somebody that's saying, "Oh, Lori, I'm gonna come," like I'll be like, "Oh, I'm moving Saturday. I really need somebody to help me." And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, I'm gonna be there, Lori. I'm gonna be there to help you." And if you don't show up, guess
Mm.
what? I'm be
Mhm.
looking like I
Wow.
can't depend on them,
Yeah.
right? They're
Yeah.
not a person of their word.
Yeah.
They don't do what they say they're going to do. So then
Mm-hmm.
it's showing a different type of character that you have.
Wow. That's good. Wow. So it's like a character flaw.
Yeah.
And I know these young folks, sometimes they don't understand commitment.
Yeah.
Not to put y'all on blast, young people, but they need to understand what commitment is. And I guess a lot of times if they don't see that being modeled in front
Yeah.
of them, then they wouldn't know. So
That's
I,
it.
I thank God that He's graced me and my children's father to be committed to working and having work ethics, and
Oh, come
respecting
on
others.
now. Now
Come
you
on.
talking.
Well,
Yes.
the
Come
young
on.
folks, come on. Y'all need to see. It has to be modeled. So
Hmm.
my children, they've always seen us work.
Yeah.
Their dad is an entrepreneur. So
Hmm.
we modeled that. We didn't sit
Yeah.
them down and say, okay, this is commitment and this is the definition. No, they saw their parents, and
Hmm.
then my oldest, great work ethics,
Yeah.
very respectful. And so a lot of times, parents, we need to model commitment for our children. It's not
Hmm.
just for us.
Right. You gotta walk it out. Walk it
Walk
out.
it
Walk it
out.
out.
Walk
Walk it
it
out.
out.
Hey. Yeah, you gotta walk that thing
You
out,
do.
honey.
Come on, say that. I love
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, because
Bam.
that's the
You know,
thing. You gotta walk it out. You
you
gotta
do have
walk.
to walk it out.
You have to walk the talk.
Come
Okay.
on.
Seriously. Because the thing about it is nobody that is successful.
Mm,
There's not one
mm.
person that
Well,
is successful
come on.
that has not, that where commitment is not tied to them,
Say that.
right?
Say
The
that.
only way that you can achieve your goals 100% is
Hmm.
if you are 100% committed. You
Exactly.
cannot do nothing. Remember
Oh,
that song
no.
they say, Lord, I'm running, trying
Running
to make 100,
100.
99.
99 won't do. Is that what it was? Run, run it. Okay. Yeah. Wait, what was this?
But
A chicken.
girl, you know
Like,
how they be shouting at
yeah, I
church.
know. Like, I never understood that.
You did it?
I'm
Okay.
like, you never
Why?
heard.
But anyway,
Yeah.
but seriously, you
Yeah.
got to give your whole self to that
I
thing,
agree.
right?
I
In
totally
order for
agree.
you to be successful, your whole self, and
Yes.
that's the only way. There's no excuses. There's no exceptions. Really, it's no
Mm-mm.
exceptions,
Mm-mm. So
right?
people, they squill on themselves, Lori.
Yeah,
They squill on themselves. They let me know what they value. I'll just put
yeah.
it out there,
That's
right?
there. You go.
Come on now.
Yeah,
So I can tell what you're committed to. What because that's what commitment is. You may be committed to money. You may not be committed to that relationship.
right.
So you may be at the job 23 hours a day, but not really spending time, being a better father or maybe, a better spouse. So your
Mhm.
time is going to kind of let us know, like where your
Yes.
commitment really lies. And so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
really, it is evidence. You can't
Yeah.
really deny that.
Yeah. So that, where you give your time and give yourself to, that's priority in your life, really.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Um, and when it comes to commitment, sometimes, like I was thinking about the word commitment even a little bit deeper. And
Mm-hmm.
when I started to think, I'm like, okay, you can also use the word diligence in this
Mm.
place. And
Yeah.
then I started thinking about the scriptures. Here we go, y'all, about to get
Come
in the
on with the
word.
word.
But there is a scripture, like first of all, in the Bible, God is concerned about commitment too, because
Yes.
there is like over 100 verses in the Bible where it talks about commitment, like literally using that word commitment.
Mm.
And the thing when we was talking about character flaws, now there's a scripture in the Bible where it says, if a man vows a vow to the Lord or swears by an oath to bind himself by a pledge, that he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth.
Mm.
So when you say you're going to do something or be somewhere or commit to do something and don't do it, the Bible says you just shouldn't even say it.
Mm.
You
Mm.
shouldn't have even let it part out your lips.
Wow. Right.
If you're not
Right.
going to do it, if you're
Right.
not going to follow through, just
Right.
don't do it.
Right.
So I just encourage people, make sure you're being very sensitive to
Mm-hmm.
making commitments
Yeah.
and you're not sure you can keep them.
Well, come on.
Right?
Say that
Right.
again.
Yeah. You have to make sure to be careful when you are
Mhm.
making commitments
Yes.
that you are sure you can keep them.
I love that.
Okay.
Making sure.
Because we have to make sure when we commit,
Mm-hmm.
that it's important to it's going to be important to the person receiving in, but make sure it's important to you too.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So whether you're committing to join a ministry,
Mm-hmm.
to committing on your job,
Mm-hmm.
committing in your marriage,
Mm-hmm.
committing to be involved with certain activities with your children, because
Yes.
one thing about it, kids don't forget. And
No.
people don't forget. Nobody
Mm.
forgets when you commit. And so when
Right.
you break that thing,
Yes.
then you're hurting yourself, you're hurting your
Mm-hmm.
character, and then you're hurting the other person because
Right.
they're depending on you.
Right. And it's okay to say no. You don't have to overextend yourself
Yeah.
to please people. You have to understand, what is important or what do you value, and then be committed to that. And if there's something that may compromise what's important or what's valuable to you, then you have to be free to say, no, I can't get involved in that. I can't take part in that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got a full plate. And that's
Right.
okay to say no. It's okay to tell people no. It's very
Mhm.
liberating. You should try
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I try all the
Yeah.
time. I love it.
Mhm.
So
Just say
that's
no.
real.
Be like Nike. I'm just saying.
Really? I'm gonna be like Nike. Remember your little N-O spells no, you say it all the time.
Right. I'm
You know,
just saying, like, it's okay. It's
it
okay.
is. It is okay. Because
You'll be all right.
you'll be okay. And we all have a full plate. Even growing and maturing as an individual, there are some areas that I had to kind of adjust my commitment. When you
Mhm.
have kids, right?
Yes.
I had to say, oh Lord, like, I had to kind of prioritize some things like, wait a minute, I got to be committed to being a better parent. I got
Come
to
on.
be, come on, I got to
Mhm.
be committed to taking care of myself, right?
Right.
And eating right. I
Yeah.
got,
But that's wisdom, right? So
that
this is the thing. So you got to be careful. Like I said, I'm gonna say it one more time.
one more
Make
time.
sure when you are committing that you are going to be able to keep your commitments, because
Mhm.
it may be that you're overcommitting yourself to
Right.
begin with, right?
Mm.
Too many times when somebody say, "Oh, let's do this, let's do that,"
Mhm.
everything looks good at that point in time. We want to do it, but
Mhm.
really, after you start thinking about it and looking at everything you have to do, it's
Wow.
not really feasible or realistic for
Right.
you or your family.
Right. Because you all in your feelings. You all excited and
Right, in your
emotional.
flesh.
Come on.
So we have to be discerning, and you make sure
Yes.
you be prayerful and cautious
Yes.
about how you commit
Caution.
yourself,
Yeah.
right? Because like when my children were younger, I couldn't commit myself to do a whole lot of things that did not involve them,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
So now that my children are adults, young
Yeah.
adults,
Yes.
that I can do a lot of other things that I couldn't do when I
Yeah.
had small children, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's just the thing. Just make sure you're just being very careful with that.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And I found a scripture. I got the word too.
Come
And
on with it.
it's in Proverbs 16:3. And it says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. So even in our
Amen.
commitment, we can invite God into helping us
Yes.
staying committed, right?
Yes.
If you feel like, okay, I'm struggling in some areas that I do value. And so
Mhm.
you may say, God, I need your help.
Yeah.
And that's where, like you said, the wisdom will come in.
Right.
Let God give you wisdom on helping you being committed to those things that are important to
Yeah.
you, those things
Yeah.
that you do value. And He will.
So that I love that scripture. So in closing, I just want to say I would like to challenge
Okay.
all of our viewers
Well,
to ask yourself, am I truly committed to achieving my goals or the success I want to see in my life? Because I know we all strive to be successful, but just ask yourself, am I committed? Because really the ball is in your court, right?
mhm.
The diligent hand shall be made fat. We can have whatsoever we say. So as long as you commit yourself
Yes.
to achieve that thing, then you can have it. But are you truly giving your 100%?
Right.
Second question I want you to ask yourself is, am I doing what it takes, or am I just doing what's convenient?
Wow.
That's
Wow.
something to think about, right?
Mm.
Because sometimes we'll only stretch ourselves only for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
we'll be like, I ain't going past that.
Right.
And then also, do your yes mean yes, or does your no mean no?
I hear that a lot.
You said that just say no, right?
Yeah.
So if you say no, you say no. But if you say yes, then mean yes and do
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Right. And then one last thing. What are you teaching your kids about commitment if you have children?
Mm-hmm.
So are you walking it out, walking out, walking out? Are you
out.
walking it out? Okay.
Yeah.
What, you got anything else, Lynn?
No, I think that's awesome. Again, I think that's great. Again, I love the challenge. We have to challenge ourselves, and what areas do we need to work on when it comes to commitment in our lives right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like you said, being a better model of commitment for our children, if you do have children out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's great.
Yeah.
Commitment, again, it's a strong word.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not always going to be easy. The conditions not always going to be right. Sometimes things may happen outside of your control that may try to compromise your commitment.
Mm-hmm.
But just stand firm.
Yeah.
Stand firm in faith, and that's awesome. So yes, you can definitely close us out.
All right. Okay. So now look, y'all, we got a lot of stuff going on. So
yes,
don't forget to join our Pray People Now podcast. Pray People Now. Okay. And we also want to thank everybody for joining us on the podcast today. We look forward to you every single week. We enjoy this platform and being able to, have these discussions and dialogues. And we hope that you enjoyed the discussion today. And if so, make sure you subscribe on the channel. And remember to share, because if this helped you, definitely it's going to help someone else. And we are all about helping God's people. So remember, our mission is to empower complete change in women so that you will continue to evolve and soar. So let's flow, let's grow, and let's go.
All right now. What you say now?
Hey.
Y'all already know.
Hey.
Leaning low on the floor.
Hey.
What you say now? What you say now? Leaning low to the floor. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's flow. Let's grow. Let's go.
Well.
Commit.
Have an awesome week, people.
Have a good week, y'all. Love y'all.
Stay committed to what you started.
Walk it out.